gunshots, 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 gunshots. Yo, this one's about Muonk Tuonk, right? YSL gang member Muonk Tuonk. That's who this is about. Sit back, enjoy the ride. I'm going to show you what happened when you agree to cooperate with the government or the state and become a government witness. They own you for the rest of their lives. I know there's a lot of talk about big meets with the third party agreement and all that. I'm going to speak more on that later. I'm letting them put out their content with their, comprehension of it, and then I lay down the law of it. Okay? But right now, this is about Young Thug judge sends YSL member Muonk Tuonk back to prison after a probation violation because he did not testify in the manner that they wanted him to testify in. So they locked him up. Alright? All right, so this is what it is. We talking about Muonk Tuonk and them. Let's get this right. This Unique Mecca audio, breaking it down so you understand what it is when you decide to work with the government and it all goes wrong. That's why I say don't get involved in a life of crime. Let's get this thing right. Let's make sure y'all understand where I'm coming from. All right, now let's check this joint out and see where we at. This how they got Muonk Tuonk. Then we're gonna play it back to the beginning so you can see how we got to where we at right now, which is him being sentenced to 5 years for a probation violation for not testifying in the manner that they wanted him to testify in. Do you understand the words that are coming out my mouth? Now, if you subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you're not subscribed, subscribe and hit the notification bell. All right.
Find there to have been that violation, I'm revoking 5 years.
And
And he
reinstating
will be
the balance.
continued on probation, Your Honor?
And reinstate the balance.
Your Honor,
Thank you.
might I ask, is it possible for my client to turn himself in to make arrangements?
I think y'all knew when you came in here that this was a strong possibility. So, no, I'm sorry.
All right. So that's where we at now. Right? So you understand. That's where we at. All right. So that's where we at. They got Muonk Tuonk locked up for not testifying in the manner that they wanted him to testify in. So now I'm going to play it from the beginning so you can see exactly how we got where we at right now. All right, so sit back. This is where they got Muonk Tuonk right now in the cell behind me. See, I got the graphics. Thanks for the Cash App. You already know when the Cash App come on the screen, hit the icon. Make sure it says it was created in 2020. When you go to it, that's the Cash App right there. Let's keep this joint fire. Look how nice I got this scenery set up for you. All right.
A notice of a probation revocation for the defendant as to his violation of the special or a special condition within the sentence that he received from Judge Glanville on December 8th of 2023 as it relates to his reviewing, acknowledging that the factual acknowledgments that were a part of the plea agreement in which he entered into on December 8th of 2023. I have a certified copy of the conviction for Your Honor with a certified copy of the indictment, as well as a copy of the transcript of the plea that was taken on December 8th of 2023. An exhibit within that plea transcript is the plea agreement, which includes the sections, I believe it's sections 4 and sections 5 of the plea agreement as it relates to the factual acknowledgments that the defendant swore under oath during the plea that he had reviewed, then initialed each one of the factual acknowledgments, and then signed that he again, understood and had reviewed each one of the acknowledgments that he initialed as part of the special conditions of his plea, that when called to testify, if called to testify, that the specific factual acknowledgments within the plea agreement were true and accurate statements, and that would be the testimony that he would provide as it relates to his witness testimony during the trial of this case.
All right, so let me break that down so y'all understand, right? You know, I'm putting the simple terminology. They did a great job. This is from Law and Crime Trials. Got to give them their props. This is where the content came from. But now I'm going to break it down so that our people could understand, laymen could understand. What they're saying is that Muonk Tuonk agreed to testify and be a rat bastard and work with the state, and then signed the agreement saying exactly what he will be saying for the state. That's why he get a gunshot. And then when he get on the stand, he said something else. He went as far as saying, I ain't scared of no jail. I'm not scared of nothing. And Miss Love the whole time is thinking, I'm gonna burn you, rat bastard. That's what Miss Love is thinking. And this is her burning them. Lil Woody, you're next. They're putting together something so powerful for Lil Woody, right? I'm not wishing this on you, Woody. I'm not wishing this on you. I don't like rat bastards. I'm saying it like that. So I'm not saying this to help you. I'm not saying this to harm you. I'm saying this to enlighten our people. They're putting, as we say, right? This is what we say. Let me sit up straight. This is what we say in my world, right? In the criminal world. Lil Woody. They're baking a cake for you. You understand? Woody, they're baking a vicious cake for you, Lil Woody. They're baking a cake so spicy and sweet and sensational to the stomach and senses that they're having an orgasm. See, they got Muonk Tuonk. He got lucky. Muonk Tuonk only got 5 years. That's for the violation. But I'm telling you what's going to happen in between that, and not wishing bad on them again. I don't like rat bastards. Let me say that straight, right? So we understand. I'm just telling y'all so y'all understand what's going on. So hopefully y'all don't get involved in this crap that's going on out here, right? And, you know, stay on the straight and narrow. Now, Muonk Tuonk got 5 years, right? He was looking at 30. They gave him 5 out of 30. Everything revocated it, kept it with that. So when he come out, he'll have the 5 years he served plus whatever he served before, put them together, and that goes towards the 30 years. So if he served, let's say 3 years, 2 years in jail, this happened back in November, December. So call it 3 years. So that means he got 8 years in on his 30 years, probation violation. During that 30 years, let me explain this to you how this works. During that 30 years, at any time, if anything happens in his hood that they feel he could get the information, or even if he don't get the information, if he's around the proximity of the alleged violation, they're going to call him in, give him a script, and expect him to say that script. Right now, he violated because his first job, or as they say in their world, mission. Muonk Tuonk, you failed the first mission to Miss Love. Miss Love put you out there and tell you, yo, you're going to burn this dude, Young Thug. I'm only going to give you, 30 years probation. But you got to testify. But Miss Love messed up when she let him out. She let him have a taste of freedom and let him go out there and stick his chest out and be the gangster that he was. And be the gangster that he was. So his chest is out. Now he comes in the courtroom after he done went out there and finagled all kinds of stories that he wasn't testifying, is messed up or having a Young Thug. Anybody that testified need to get their boop, 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 boop. And gunshots, gunshots, gunshots. This is what he was saying. But Miss Love, she trusted him to come back in and sing like Mariah Carey. Or should I say Fantasia? You know what I mean? Somebody that could fit his, physical description to a degree. Not disrespecting Fantasia, but they're both of dark complexion, right? Now, That's why I use that analogy. You know, everybody in these rat bastards and flip-flop wearing in public troll would be saying, oh, ain't this Fantasia? No, it was not a diss at Fantasia. It was to make a comparison between the melanin complexion of the two individuals. And one is a singer, the other one is becoming a singer. Do you understand the words that are coming out my mouth? It is too deep for you. So now that's what happened with that, right? So now you understand that, you see that, and you understand. So Muonk Tuonk didn't testify, and why did he testify? So the prosecutor's up there telling the judge that, you know, they should revoke the agreement that he gave and give him whatever part of that 30 years that the judge deemed appropriate, because the judge was there the whole time, and they put in the judge's hand because they know the judge is on their side, because any normal or right judge would have been called a mistrial. But the whole point is, she would have called a mistrial. She is a good judge. I got to give her a round of applause. I got, calm down, y'all. Calm down. I got to give the judge a round of applause. She is a good judge, right? But you got to remember, there's always a puppet master, right? She would have been called a trial. But her puppet master at this time is the feds. And the feds are saying, nah, let it play out, because the more they talk and you do this mock foolery to show that y'all not ready for the big leagues down there in Fulton County. This is what she said. This is what the federal government is saying to the state. Y'all not ready for the big leagues. Y'all are peons. You know what I mean? Y'all are little boys. Just keep the charade going. And from that, we're getting enough information. We're taking notes from the transcripts. They sworn under oath to those are sworn testimony, so we can make a whole new indictment. And we got the whole case laid out. You blew your case, but we're going to bury them with time, and you're still going to get in the history books because you did prosecute them, even though you blew the prosecution. But that's what this state is expected to do. So that's why the feds come in and take over the cases. This is how cocky and arrogant the feds are, just like Unique Mecca Audio. That's why a lot of these rat bastards don't like me, because when you know your shit, like how the feds know, they tell the state, y'all are nothing. And that's the same way Unique Mecca Audio tell you rat bastards and flip-flop wearing in public looking for a slip-up or something to go wrong, to say something. You know, stop it. Any man of honor will speak respectfully about me, because I was always a gentleman. I didn't run around the prison as a killer. I didn't cause problems. I just made my money and stayed low and did what I had to do to get out. And sometimes that includes ducking bullcrap from suckers. Let's ride. I feel like riding. Let's take a ride, Ron. Let's take a ride. Check it out. Now, when you're in the pen, Ron, you're going to get dumb dudes that's going to do dumb stuff when you're in the feds. And whatever they do or does affects the whole car, as they call it, meaning everybody from that geographical location have to roll out behind what we call in the prison crash dummy do. Now you get a crash dummy that go breaking somebody's locker, they want to smash them, or somebody picture this, right? Picture this, let's ride. We're gonna take a real prison ride, you know what I mean? You know, cause you know, this about the bag. This about the prison bag. All right? This about the prison bag, so you understand. Now, listen to what I'm telling you. Imagine you're in a prison and you out west, you know. You from Georgia, you from either Baltimore, I'm talking about individually, New York, Chicago, you know what I mean? New Jersey, you know, Connecticut, Boston, right? And somebody from your Boston crew, which is what we call a car in the feds, right? They go and they break in somebody's locker. You know you don't tolerate thievery. Robbery, we down with that, and gets a round of applause. All right, calm down. This is a little too real for y'all, but I got to give it to you like it is, right? in the feds, if somebody roll up on somebody with a banger in their hand, or as Banky Pound, love Banky Pound, go check him out, official dude. Yeah, I don't really do the all prison stories no more. I mix my joint up, but I still look out for my brothers that stayed the course. But I can always throw my prison stories in. I still got a million. I just wanted to break up the channel a little bit. But right now, go check out Banky Pound. You got Chad Marks, you know. And there's another kid that y'all need to check out west that I was out west with. I didn't even respond to nothing that he said. You know what I mean? You know, yet because like I said, I play my position and I see how things are played out. Just like I'm in the penitentiary or entering, you know, in a new neighborhood in a new state. You got to map out the surroundings and see who's who. But go check out. His name is I think Mesa Ruth. You know what I mean? Mesa Ruth. He does prison stories. Y'all want prison stories. You know what I mean? So, Mesa, you could cut this up and use this as your joint. You get my stamp of approval now. I sat back, I had to watch because I can't associate my name with certain things unless I see what it is. And you still the man that I know you was when you was in the joint, and you still honoring that and not feeding into this YouTube world. Because that's the thing. You're going to get rat bastards and flip-flop in public and trolls that just want to make up anything to make up something to make it sound crazy when they know it's just their conspiracy theory, you know? So now, you know, let me get back to it. Let me finish playing this. I can ride all day when I'm talking to my people. I know I ain't gonna play this whole video, but we gonna ride.
So I would present to the court States Exhibits 1 and 2, as well as a USB drive of the defendant's testimony on day 124, 125, 126, and I think 127, Your Honor, but all of the defendant's testimony can be found on States Exhibit 3. As everyone is aware, Your Honor witnessed it and can take judicial notice of everything that occurred during the testimony in which Mr. Sledge did testify. And I believe the court during, I think it was day 125, helped direct the defendant to sections 4 and 5 of the plea agreement during the testimony for him to focus on and read and to go one by one and acknowledge or disavow is the only word I could really think as to being no longer true and testifying under oath that he was violating the special conditions of his probation, Your Honor. So this time I would tender States Exhibits 1, 2, and 3 for the court.
All right, I'm not quite sure I understand what 3 is.
3 is a USB drive with all of the testimony of the defendant. If Your Honor wants to preview it or wants to be part of the record.
Is that from the official transcript?
Well, it's the YouTube link, the live stream of all of the.
Okay, I'll just take judicial notice of it. I mean, if you want to make an exhibit, that's fine, but I'm not going to be relying on that.
All right. So y'all understand what just wanted again. I'm just gonna stop it every once in a while. I'm trying not to be so ridey, as I would call it. 'Cause, you know, when we in the prison yard and we locked up, we doing time, and I go out there in the yard. You know, you know, I was being groomed for YouTube from I was in the prison. I mean, I go out in the yard. You know, I might bring my photo album. Yo, my photo album literally. Hold up, you got to see it. My photo album is literally this thick. I still got it upstairs. My prison photo album was this thick, man. And they expect you to have a photo album this thick, but they say you can have a scrapbook. So I got around the rules and procedures by manipulating it and having a photo album this big by buying a bunch of photo album sheets. I take my photo album in the yard and I show them the pictures, and everybody got a question about the picture. And whatever picture picks up, you know, that gives me a good flashback. Then I share the flashback with them, and I get animated. I'm standing up, and I'm in a circle, and I got 8 guys around me. Now, I was rolling up in Club 2000. I had the mink on. Yo-Yo was in the joint. Dr. Dre, Snoop. You know, I'm talking about the East Coast, and we talking about back in '92. Call my bluff on what I'm saying, my nigga. I brought Snoop and Dre to Club 2000. In 1992 when they just came out. They probably don't even remember who I am because they don't know that they walked into a part of New York history, man. I'm going to start having my man, you know what I mean? I ain't even going to tell you his name yet, but I'm going to have somebody start questioning me while I'm on here. You're not gonna see him. I might put his emoji in the corner, so every time he talk, the emoji flash, he talking, and he's gonna question me about back in the days because he don't really want to put his face out there right now because certain things is happening and he's certain type of people. But what I'm saying right now, Rock, so you understand, I had Dr. Dre, I had King T, this West Coast, Snoop, of course, because he just came out. Snoop had on the beige, um, full length, Parker jacket, and that's what Snoop had on, and Dre had on the same thing with the mink around the collar, full length Parker jacket, blue puffy joint. It was wintertime. Dre had on the blue joint. You know what I mean? The dark blue joint, close to black, because Dre and them was watching New York, and you know what I mean? Just like we was watching them, because you rat bastards trying to pick what's a better coast between the East Coast and the West Coast. It's still triggers, man. And we still got the same rules and regulations because we've been traveling all the way from Africa to the United States of America. Most of us from New York City to California, or California, New York. So we one and the same. So all this trying to separate which coast is better and this and that, to me, that's foolery. I'm an old gangster by trade. And I know we got gangsters out west. I know we got gangsters in the Midwest. I know we got gangsters in the South. And I know we got gangsters up north. And any fool that try and say his coast is better than the next coast and compare the coast when it's still men in the struggle in the jungle trying to survive is a clown to me. No disrespect to you. I'm just letting you know how I feel about you, because you can't put one better than the next, this better than that, because we all after the same goal, which is survival of the fittest. And it don't matter what coast you on, north, south, east, west, midwest, we're still surviving. And we're all the fittest. I'm 60. I tell everybody, Rob, let's ride. I that Muonk Tuonk stuff right now. Let's ride. I want to ride right now. I want y'all to understand what you're dealing with, Ron. I'm 60 years old. I came to this country. See, I'm giving y'all a nice joint right now, Ron, because I'm going to end this after about 30 minutes because I'm just riding too much. But check it out. I came to this country in 1972, you know. By 1975, I was, when I came 72, I was 8. By 75, I was 11. I'm just giving you a quick little rundown. You know what I mean? By then I was in Brooklyn, and I'm watching my older cousins that's, fresh off of the boat at Jamaica, and them do them things then. You have the 90s posse and the gully posse and them things there. This before Delroy Uzi and them come up and Chinaman come up. But, you have Barnaby Bones and, there's a whole bunch of other names for say, but we don't want to say them because them sour. But you had Body Move, you had Scully, Skelly, you had Not Palmer, you had real yard man. You know what I mean? That was out there. Real yard man. And these are the ones I'm speaking on that stood tall. The one that brought me out there, and I'm even going to say it because I got nothing to hide. He turned out to be a rat bastard, but he OD'd on the boy and the girl together, smoking it, and God did his duty. Y'all get mad at what I just said. When you one of those, you know what I mean? I have no feelings for how you go. When you violate the code and the honor that you chose to take, you wasn't forced to take. I have no respect for how you go. I hope you go in the worst way. That's just my opinion. And I'm sure you hope I go in the worst way. But that's what it is. The moral of the story, I'm 60, I'm here. And I watched this whole evolution. I watched everything evolved into what it is today. you know. And I watched from the heroin era to the coke era to the freebase era to the crack era, and then I got locked up during the crack era. And after that, y'all correct me and let me know what came after the crack era. Y'all put it in the comments. because I need to know. It was either, like what, the mollies, the ecstasy, the pills, the whatever it is that came. Put it in order how the drugs played up to 2024, because my knowledge cuts off at 1993 when that got me, and I was in the top of the food chain. So when I tell you these stories, I'm telling you them from experience and facts. A lot of people don't know me because I've been going 26 years, and I had to stay under the radar on 26 years so that they wouldn't know who I was and wouldn't buck my release. And it worked. I even ducked a lot of problems in the prison. There was a lot of people, right? Because we riding. There was a lot of people in the feds that deserved killing. There was a lot of people that didn't deserve to be alive from different violations that they've done. But me as a man with life plus 20 would expected me to die and then come back and finish my sentence. I had to think for the next crash dummy. Remember that. Remember these words. Think for the next crash dummy. The crash dummy, right? We ride. The crash dummy is that dummy when you on a train and you come in the train and you stand up, you holding the bar, the joint just stop, and a dude come on and he bumps you and he grabs the same thing you want, like he's roughing you off to let you know I'm getting this too. That's a crash dummy. Don't even say nothing to him. Ignore him. Because anything you say to him is going to be fuel to his fire, because now it's going to allow him to back at you verbally. And he thinks it's going to stay verbal, but he don't understand he's dealing with an unaliver that unalive people for fun. Yo, listen, right, we ride. I know homies, right, that we be sitting in the apartment, we drinking Guinness Stout. Y'all might not chat about. We drinking Guinness Stout and we chilling in in the living room of the little 1-bedroom apartment we got, or the studio, and you got like 9 different men living in that one spot, right? Could you imagine 9 men living in a studio with a little mattress in the corner, and all 9 men sleep comfortable on that mattress in the corner? Y'all put it in the comments if you think it's possible, if you think I'm wailing, because they might think me I'm Bunny Wheeler. I mean, a whaler or something, right? But check, right? Could you imagine 9 men asleep on one little bed the size of a prison bed, comfortably? Put in the comments how that's done, because I'm getting ready to tell you. It's done with love. It's done with honor. It's done with respect. You're not going to get this gangster nowhere else that I'm giving you right now. You got 9 men in a little bed the size of, like a bunk bed in your house. Imagine 9 men sleeping on that mattress that's on the bottom bunk, comfortably. We got 9 men. You got your shoulder here. You got another man going the other direction with his feet going the other direction. Another man going with his feet direction. Another man feet going direction. But only thing is on the mattress is your shoulder. The rest of your body is hanging off that mattress. But as long as your head is together, that means you moving together. You rolling together. You eating together. You dying together. And every man is on that little cot, comfortable with just his shoulders cocked on. That's how my life was. That's how I learned love and loyalty. Now, how could I tell on my comrade that's laying on the cold floor in Brooklyn with no heat, when it's 5 degrees outside, snow on the ground, no glass in the windows, we just got brown bags, but we laying down shoulder to shoulder. 2 can of blood clot Campbell soup in the cupboard. 2 can of soup in the cupboard. And 9 man in the place. And I look a quarter loaf of hard dough bread. Because we have our hard dough bread. And butter in the fridge. And every man have to eat from 2 blood clot can. What we do is we take it, right? And we chew it in a one bowl. We never have no microwave. We put it in a pot, we warm it up, and we put water with it. Put some water with it and take some of the hard dough bread and crush it up and dump it in it. you know, for make it thicker. You know, and put some water and a little seasoning on it and stretch the little two can and take the little piece of bread left and slice up some thin slice and every man equally get a slice of bumbo clot bread. And every man, just how we are live so vicious, every man have at least 5 toes in our pocket. But we are eat hard dough bread and take the bread for stretch the soup to make, you know, gravy for make it thicker with some water and some seasoning. And so bad man are reals. So bad man not go tell pan no next man. That's why me respect Nat Palmer. That's why me respect Delroy Uzi. That's why me respect Body Move. That's why me respect Shiny Man. That's why we respect Big Lee. That's why we respect Scully. You know what I'm saying? Sufferer. You know, the man them. I saw life a gone. So that's why I tell you, youngins, man, don't get involved in this life of crime because it ain't nothing nice. See, I done told my stories longer than this joint is 40-something minutes only. I played 3 minutes of Muonk Tuonk, but at least I let you know he got locked up at the end. You know what I mean? Because he wouldn't cooperate with the government. He didn't tell the story that he agreed to tell, so they locked that ass up. Y'all understand the words that are coming out my mouth? Man, let me play some more of this, man. I'm ready to tap out. I'm getting a little emotional right now.
So,
Since, as you know, it's only the official transcript that is the official transcript anyway, but I was here and witnessed it, so I will take judicial notice of it.
yes, I'm very much aware of that. The transcript obviously is not ready as we're still in the midst of the trial.
Right.
I didn't want to overwhelm the court reporter who's been doing nothing but probably working hardest out of everyone in the courtroom. So I knew Your Honor
All right.
either could take judicial notice
Thank
or
you.
rewatch it. Can I approach with?
You may. And can you try to use a mic, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
Can I, they go to the court reporter.
Nothing further from the state at this time, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Wright,
Your Honor, may I remain seated or?
it's probably easy, you can. It's probably easier to hear you that way.
Okay, I think I'm on. Your Honor, if it'll please the court, I believe, and I already sent to the court defendants 1 through 6. Defendants 1 through 5, I believe, were already, I think my emails between myself and Ms. Love came into evidence during our testimony.
Came into evidence in the trial of the defendants that are on trial right now.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
So those are sort of resubmissions
Okay.
of those, but I do think they're already before the court, or the court can potentially take judicial notice of that.
What is your Exhibit 6? I think I
Well,
only got
Exhibit
5.
6 is the one thing, and that's just a listing of my emails in December between
Oh,
myself
that's
and Ms.
this one
Love.
page?
Yes.
Okay, it didn't have an exhibit marker on it.
I'm sorry,
so
Judge.
That's fine.
So succinctly, I thought it best to submit these exhibits. When you look at Exhibits 1, 2.
And those are admitted for purposes of this record, which is the probation revocation matter.
Okay, what I said while the mute was on when it just popped in, because I see everything. You know what I mean? I got eyes, which is called my third eye, which is what see in the back of my mind and deep within my mind. Okay, so I had the mute on, so I'm going to let you know. I said, this man is a straight gentleman. So don't think I didn't know. I made a mistake. I'm human. Now, he's a straight gentleman. Watch the way he's breaking down his exhibits, and he's real meticulous the way he go about it. But this don't work in a hood trial. Not when if this was a businessman or corporate trial, it'll be different. But not when you deal with a YSL trial. But he doing the best he can, and maybe it worked, maybe it didn't work. Muonk Tuonk only walked out with 5 years, but I guarantee you, and I'm putting it on it, and I'm not wishing bad on him for you rat bastards. I'm just telling you how the court worked. What the court is doing is they put Muonk Tuonk in jail for 5 years. While he's in this boxing for 5 years, he's pacing around and he's thinking about the Puffy thing, and he's hearing about Puffy now instead of seeing it on YouTube himself, and he's realizing what's going on. When they call him for the next trial, they expect him to be ready to get on there and sing like Stevie Wonder. So that's what's going on. But that's Muonk Tuonk, right? But Muonk Tuonk, when they lock him up for that 5 years in that box that I spoke about, within that 5 years, they're going to drop that new federal YSL indictment. Don't think that federal YSL indictment is not coming. You a fool if you think it's not coming. You's a sucker and a rat bastard if you think I'm wishing bad on anyone. I'm just telling you how the law works, my brother. They're coming with a federal indictment. They're only letting this trial go so they can get the testimony, let them feel they're safe right now while they're testifying in the state. And then they're going to use everything they said against them, not as substantive violations. Substantive violations is actual violations and counts and violations of the criminal statute and the codes of the United States. That's not what they're going to get them for. They're going to use everything they said against them as overt acts to show a jury in a YSL trial whether they have charges on them or not. They might just have conspiracy to violate the RICO Act with Young Thug and his other co-defendants. That's the way it'll be written up. But that conspiracy is all they need to get you found guilty of, and then you're looking at automatically 10 to life. And the priors, the RICO, the probation, violation, all of that is going to be used to what they call enhance him and enhance his sentence more than the 10 years and get it up to at least 30 years or life in jail. And then the violation of 30 years probation, they're going to run that what they call consecutive. So Muonk Tuonk is screwed. He went on the stand with his chest out because Miss Love rocked him to sleep and allowed him to go out and feel like he was still a man when he was a new rat. He didn't want to face it. He got comfortable. So right now, he don't realize that the world is talking about him and the world see him for the rat bastard that he is. And he don't like nobody saying that because the rat bastards don't like that. Mecca audio! Just keeping it 100. But the facts are the facts, Muonk Tuonk. The facts are the facts, Lil Woody. The facts are the facts to all the other ones. I didn't even catch their names, man. I don't even respect them. Just so you understand. But I'm just telling you like it is. I'm not, telling you how to think. I'm just telling you how the streets work. Once you cooperate with the government, you become a rat. That's why I take the big meat allegations with the third party snitching so seriously. Not that it may not be true. Not that it may be a lie. That's not where I'm at. Where I'm at with it is present the paperwork. somebody speaking on it, that you have to ask yourself when you're getting a message, who's the messenger? Is there axe he has to grind? Is there something that he could gain from this? All these questions are asked from the messenger. So from what I saw of the Cuffy thing, I'm just speaking my opinion from a street code. Cuffy, show the paperwork. You can't just say CI this is this person because it fit this person, could be that person and it could have only been this person. I've seen all of that. And then when you get with the person they call the CI, they showing you that it was somebody else that did the same thing that he did with this person, and he bugging putting it on him because it might be him. And that's what we'll get into. And I'm not going to get into that with Big Meech's case. From what I know, he's a stand-up man. He did his time. Brittany Barnett, round of applause. All right, relax. Brittany Barnett, my attorney with Corey, right? They the ones that got me out. And I'm going to say it again, because I'm going to put this out there to be the first one to put it out there for you rat bastards that don't understand how powerful the streets is. Corey is Wolf's right-hand man. Corey and Wolf was co-defendants. When Wolf had a federal case, it was for being on the conspiracy with Corey. Meech is allegedly suspected of killing Wolf, but Corey still allowed his firm with Brittany Barnett to take Meech's case and free Meech. Y'all put in the comments why you think Corey would do that when he's loyal to Meech. Because I know a lot of y'all thinking, and I don't want to hit my rat bastard gun, you know what I mean? Because y'all just don't understand. I know a lot of y'all is thinking, why would he help the dude that killed his allegedly killed his best friend, or is suspected of being involved with killing his best friend? I know y'all got that. If y'all want me to answer that, put it in the comments, but I want y'all to answer that. Would you help the man that's accused of unaliving your best friend and your security and a member of your crew or gang, whatever title you want to put on it? Y'all put in the comments, would you help him get out of jail? Well, this brother Corey did, and he gets a round of applause for that shit, man. Y'all don't understand the history. Relax. Y'all don't understand the history. What's going on now when you got Big Meech coming home, you got Akbar Prey coming home, you got Prince from the Supreme Team coming home, and you got Tut coming home. You had William Underwood, Guy Fisher, Lou Sims, Farris, Peter Shue. Unique Mecca Audio. We all came home, brother. And we ran our generation. And now you get a chance to hear from us. But because Unique Mecca Audio's on YouTube, you got YouTube, what I call rat bastards, that sit there and say something negative to take away from the fact that I am a walking historian when it comes to that era. I've been on the street since the Heron era. That's why my channel blow like it blows. I may do a couple of videos y'all don't like. Y'all might say, oh, he's doing too much Diddy videos. Why he going into the gossip? Why he going into the Wendy Williams? Why he going to the Tish Tell? I like her too, by the way. But why he going to the Jaguar Right? Yeah, I like her too, and they say they don't like her. But, to me, that's just entertainment. But I'm giving you entertainment and wisdom. Wisdom that could save your effing life. You can't get no better than this, man. But the powers that be, God allowed the devil to try and manipulate the masses that don't believe in him, because God feels that those that believe in him and is loyal to him and have faith in him will know the truth and won't fall for the manipulation. But a lot of us open up the holy book and we read it. But we don't read it to comprehend it. We read it to say we're reading it. For props. Let's get back to my man. I'm talking too much.
Thank you, Judge. When you look at Exhibits 1 and 2, what you see going on is plea negotiations in this case started on December 27th between myself and Ms. Love. You can see it's in the evening hours, and that's one reason I wanted to make sure that the sort of the cover page along with the attachment are part of these exhibits. At approximately 4:57 p.m. is when the email first comes in from Ms. Love. You see that a second one, Defendants 2, comes in at 5:06 p.m. And at some point I respond. Those are the only two exhibits or the two drafts which occur on the 27th. However, it's important to note that when you see the response that I send to the email at 5:06, I send that response at 8:42. And I point out specific issues with the draft that need to be revised.
Right. Yeah,
Now-
and I recall we discussed this during the trial of this, the ongoing trial as well.
Yes, Your Honor. And the point I won't belabor it is these revisions you actually see being put into the drafts. So by the time you see Defendants 3 and Defendants 4, they note that there's attachments updated to. You see that those very revisions that we requested are being put into the actual drafts. And ultimately, it was Defendant's Exhibit 4 that if you look on Defendant 6, when the email comes in, it says, use this one. That is the agreement that we thought we were executing on the 28th. And remind you, on the 28th, we're in court. This isn't where I'm at my office, I can print it out, look at it, take it to the client like we did on the 27th. On the 28th,
On the 28th, both you and Mr. Sledge are in person in this courthouse, right?
correct. So the emails, if you notice, I never respond because I'm here, I'm in person.
Right.
So we would get it and via phone, or if they would give me a draft, to take to him, I would literally go from the conference room back to the holding area. We would go through it, go over it. But the one that we thought was going to be the executed final was the same one that they said on Defendants 4, use this one.
But are you testifying now, or are you just recalling for me the testimony from previously during this ongoing trial?
I am asking the court to take judicial notice.
I
because think
will
testified
take
to it.
judicial notice of what both you and Mr. Sledge testified to in the trial. I recall it.
Understood. So, ultimately, the last thing that I think we mentioned in our testimony was where we did take issue with some things, we said he'll have a chance to answer the question and to explain. Now, there was a big problem, and I noted in my testimony that number 8 on that version that got signed had been taken out, removed. All of a sudden it reappears and it's there. My client initialed it. Yes, it was tendered. But ultimately, here's the problem. My client has always said he does not know who's responsible for shooting the victim, who he never was a participant or heard about planning the murder of the victim, and therefore number 8 was put into evidence by Ms. Love to the court when it was a knowing statement. She knew that statement was false. That is,
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. That may be your contention, but
well, we would.
Let me break this down, right? Let me break this down. Let me bring me up real big right here, right? We gotta do this right. Let me break this down. This is what he's saying, right? I'm gonna break this down so we understand. He do a lot of legal jargon that, sounds real good to the court, but real confusing to us. What he's saying is that, there were statements that was in the first draft that they gave of what Muonk Tuonk was going to testify to. And they corrected and said, no, we don't want that statement in here. And then they said, okay, we're going to take that statement out. They sent back a new one with that statement out. And then now They think that's what they're going with, but then when it's time to move forward, then that statement is back in there, is what the lawyer is taking his time to understand. And that statement is Muonk Tuonk admitting that he knows who unalives someone. And he ain't trying to do that because right now it's in open court. What he did while he was behind closed doors is a whole nother story, not putting a bone on him. But you know how it is when you sit down one-on-one to eat with the devil. Oh, excuse me. I mean anyone. You know what I mean? So whatever was said then that they put in there is what they're saying and they're standing on that was put in the paperwork. They're saying that him and his lawyer approved of it and signed it. And they're both sitting there now saying that it was an oversight. And now, from that oversight that he's not trying to testify to speak on who are on the live, the person they're talking about. I ain't gonna say the names. Y'all know. Y'all been watching. If you ain't been watching it, go watch it and go check out Law and Crime Trials, and Law and Crime. All right, and a few other programs that I use. But that's what's going on. So they know what's going on, and they're telling them that when he didn't testify to what was in the documents, within the square of the documents, that means he violated probation and he needs to go to jail, and we could give him up to 30 years is what he's looking at. As you see at the end, I played at the beginning, so I'm giving away the spoiler. He got 5 years. Within that 5 years, they're going to come out with a new YSL RICO federal indictment, and Lil Woody, you're definitely going to be one of the contestants. Then you're going to have to cooperate again and tell on your friends again, but now you won't get as sweet as a deal because they have all your testimony that they told you they couldn't use against you, that they will be using against you as overt acts to show the ongoing course of the conspiracy, which does not need a conviction, so they're allowed to use it. Because the jury don't have to decide if you committed the act or didn't commit the act. Understand the words that come out of my mouth? Okay. So that's where we at. Don't tell you that you didn't get the real over here at Unique Mecca Audio. I've been on here 52 minutes. 52 minutes. And I feel like still riding, so I'm going to ride and give y'all some more, play the rest of the tape. But now you understand the lawyer trying to say that they snuck in something that they told him to take out that wasn't supposed to be in there. Him and his client both missed it. And then now they're locking his ass up, looking at 0 to 30 years. So they're giving him 5 years out that 0 to 30 years. And that's what's happening. See, I'll break this down real easy. Come on, man. I done been through this. I talk dudes in the law library. So right now, y'all in the law library with me. All right?
Contend to the court that where my actual email defendants to clearly denoted that.
It does not. That is up for debate what that denotes.
It is removed from all the drafts and then ends up back in.
That is true.
So.
But your response on your defendant's exhibit to what is then item number 4 does not definitively state anything like what you just said. He said he did not know, as we discussed at the time of the ongoing trial, could have been interpreted in several different ways. But I understand what you're saying.
And just
you maintain that the two of you both missed the fact that you signed, or your client signed, a factual acknowledgement that included item number 8.
Correct.
And then when Ms. Love read it out orally in the court, and Mr. Sledge one by one said, yes, I acknowledge that somehow that didn't occur to you at that point in time either. So I understand what the assertion is. Here's the thing. You seem to be focused almost wholly, if not wholly, on, well, maybe there was a mistake with regard to factual assertion number 8. The issue that I see is that the state has not limited their petition to revoke probation to he contradicted or he refused to acknowledge during the trial that item number 8. It is the entirety of disavowing factual acknowledgments, et cetera. And what got disavowed under oath in this trial was far more than just item number 8. It was item number 3, item number 4, item number 5, item number 6, item number 7, item number 8, item number 9, item number 16, and then the part 5. Sentencing acknowledgments, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, and the paragraph underneath asserting that he's read and that they're true and that he understands that he's had an opportunity to discuss it and he voluntarily enters into it, et cetera, et cetera. So even if we entirely disregard item number 8 of the factual acknowledgments, there are still however many other ones that added up to that the state is still relying upon. And I don't see how you get around, and maybe you have a way to get around the rest of it, and I'm certainly willing to listen, but that one thing is sworn to in open court on December 28th of 2022, and then something diametrically opposite of that is sworn to under oath back on September 5th of this year.
I understand your concerns, Judge. One of the things that we traveled on after taking the plea was he would be able to explain his answers if he had issues.
Can I ask you a question about that?
Oh man, I ain't had the damn record on, and I'm just sitting here talking. My bag, y'all. My bag, y'all. My bag, y'all. What I'm saying is, he's sitting here. He's going through all of this crap, and you don't know what he's talking about because it's not a statement. I mean, it's not a question. He's saying that he thought he could answer the question. It wasn't a question. It was a statement. Muonk Tuonk made a statement. They agreed to use that statement in the plea agreement in order to give him 30 years probation, and he had to testify against that. That's what I was saying when the mute was off. I apologize again. Bear with me. I'm just doing me. But I've been on here long enough. I'm tired. I can't believe I did that. Let's keep it moving. Y'all got an hour out of me. You know what I mean? Cop the book of Raw and Harlem. If you're already subscribed, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. If you're not subscribed, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Let's get this thing moving. Let's bring me up real big. Let's get this thing like it need to be. And cop the book of Raw and Harlem at rawandharlem.com and Big and Google.
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime. Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. An Instagram page and a YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, make an audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be whoring uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, you we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours, so we can give back to the